is Rhonda Del Baccio with a Google Drive tutorial. Now, especially for Mary, you were really insistent that you wanted to go from Google to get to some documents that were shared with you without being given a link. I'll give you the closest approximation to that shortly. But I'd like you to consider this. Going to Google before you go to a website when you know what it is like using a GPS to go to your neighbor's house when you already know how to get there. You wouldn't do it. If it's walk down the end of the block, turn right, and it's the second house, you know that. So you don't need to go to the GPS to tell you how to get where you need to go. If you know you're going to Amazon, you go to the browser, you type Amazon.com, and there you go. So you don't have to go through Google for everything. But if your heart just will not be content unless you go to Google, I will show you how to do that. So if you just can't live without going to Google, you can do a search in Google for Google Drive. And the first thing is going to be there, the Google Drive, and you can get there. When you go to the title bar in your browser and you type drive.google.com, you will get to any files that you have created or any files that are shared with you inside of Google Docs, or Google Drive, sorry, it used to be called Docs. So, one of the many advantages of Google Drive is that now you don't have to worry about somebody whining they can't open this file, they don't have this program, they don't have Word, they don't have Excel, they don't have a this, they don't have a that. It doesn't matter, because anything within Drive can be opened and read without having to invest in Microsoft whatever or in some other program. So that is a real advantage. You can put files that are made in Word or Excel or whatever up in here, and other people can read them without having to own those programs. So it's really handy. So the thing to show you about Drive is, now this may look slightly different from your display, but don't worry about that. I have my things very well organized, and so you're seeing some of the folders that I have either created or that people have shared with me. And when I go, for example, into the Author Day 2016 folder, there are subfolders and there are some files in there. And those can be opened by anyone who has sharing privileges. Now, if you were thinking you can just search on Google for these files without just logging in, which is actually easier, you cannot do that because these are private, right? They're only shared with whoever created that file and whomever they have allotted privileges to view or to edit. So they're not just out there. It's like having a locked box or a locked file folder with certain things in it. Because it's locked and it's only for, in this case, the members of a committee, that means it's not for general public consumption, and somebody is not able to come in here and edit those files or move things around unless they are part of the, in this case, committee, unless they are someone who has been given the privileges either to view or to edit things in those folders. You can make them public, but for many good reasons, you may want to keep things just between you and whomever you need to be able to see them. An advantage of using this versus emailing back and forth is a lot of times if you're emailing bouncing back and forth, sometimes attachments don't go through. Sometimes people whine they don't have this or that program, they can't read it. Sometimes there are 3 versions of something wandering around and nobody knows which one they're editing. And with things being here, there can be one standard version. Everybody can get in there, look at it, do what they need to do, and it's automatically going to be saved. And they don't need any special programs, they don't need any special equipment. They can be using it from a computer, like a Mac or a PC, from their phone, from an iPad, from an Android tablet. I mean, pretty much any device you can get and work with files in Drive. So that's all that you would have to do, is you just are going to log in at drive.google.com. If you aren't logged in with Google, it'll ask you to log in. Once you are there, then boom, you see everything for which you have viewing or editing privileges, and you can also create your own documents. So it's actually very easy. It saves you worrying about what computer you're on. It saves you worrying about what programs you or someone else has or doesn't have, because it reads everything. And if you were going to edit a file, it's just very simple, just like you would be doing in Word or whatever else. So that makes it work really well. So I'm not going to edit something right now, but there's a form, for example, that I've created. If I want to take out a field, add a field, fix a typo, would just open it up, edit, and do it. And it's very simple. So at any rate, I hope that's been helpful to you. And have a good time with Google Drive. It really is easier than you think, and it really can save you some time and energy, even though it seems different and scary, perhaps.